Hello everyone, this is Dan Kocel with Core Music, and at the end of my previous video I said that I would demonstrate how the song Into the Shadows was recorded. Before I do that, I thought it would be a great idea for me to show you my studio and let you know how it works for me. So let me take you on a brief tour, but before that happens, how about hitting the subscribe button down below for future updates on new content, and also hit the like button. I really appreciate that. Hey, I thought it would be a great idea for me to show you my studio. You know, as I said in the previous video, I started out very small too, with a very cheap DAW, a cheap audio interface, a couple guitars, and a single microphone. And in the last 10 or 12 years, I built a new studio in my home that's, a private studio. And I also have purchased a lot of new equipment to enhance my recordings. So this is what I would call the tracking room. I spent a lot of time here on the couch writing my songs and playing with the guitar to put the licks together and the chords together for the music that I've written and work with other people. Over here, once the song is written, I use this workstation right here to be able to do my recordings. It's a very comfortable seat for guitar players. And I have my microphones set up so they're always live for me to do a recording, or even to do some testing of some lyrics and things like that, and also the chords that go into the song. But this is where I would sit and do the songs once they're finished, and then I would use my iPad over here just to be able to have the music and the lyrics in front of me when I'm recording that song. I built a couple of my own diffusion panels. They're very large. They're 2.5 inches thick, and they are 5 foot by 5 foot. They take up a good part of the wall, but they do a great job, in knocking out some of the reverberation that's in the room. Kind of diffuses that sound. I have another secondary monitor here, which I can control from this spot here to start and stop my recording, and also to play back things to see if it's recorded the way that I would like it to sound. I also have an Alesis mesh style electric drum set that's piped directly into my DAW, so I can sit here with my headphones and do the drum beats and not bother anybody that's in the house upstairs. I have several basses. This is my Paul McCartney remake Hofner. It's a very good sounding bass guitar. I have diffusion panels that I bought from JIK. They're a great company that makes custom panels. You pick the design you want, the type of wood you want, and the color you want in the background. I also have a Squier Jaguar bass Fender that I use probably 90% of the time when I have to lay a bass track down for my recordings. I only have 3 amplifiers that I use for everything. I have a PV that is for my bass guitar. I have a Fender acoustic that I use for when I'm playing my acoustic guitars. And then I have an acoustic solid state amplifier that allows me to do a lot of things without having too many pedals to use for my electric guitars. It allows you to put fuzz, reverb, delay, a number of different things, and you can control how much of each one of those things you want into your recording. Let me take you into the room where I do most of the work. As you can see on the wall here, I have an assortment of guitars. Some of my favorite guitars are the first one, which is a Les Paul studio type guitar. The next one is a Jimmy Page Fender Telecaster that is a remake of the Jimmy Page original guitar, and many other guitars that I really enjoy playing. A lot of acoustics, because I really enjoy playing acoustic guitars. I also have a cajon for more beats into my recordings, and I have a Williams keyboard here, which I can use as an organ or an electric piano. As you can see, this is my desk here where I do all my work. I have studio monitors made by JBL. They're the Studio 8s. I have a Behringer Ultra Graphic Equalizer that I use through into the DAW. I have a Behringer X-Touch Compact Surface Controller, which allows me to control manually, without using a mouse, all of the 8 channels that are in the DAW. It's a great addition to my studio. It's something I just bought recently. I have a lot of other analog type equipment. I have a 6-channel head amplifier for all my headphones. I'm using a Scarlett 18i20 audio interface. I have an LTO compressor limiter that is 2-channel, and down below an Aphex 2-channel microphone preamp, and below that is a 16 input patch panel that I use for connecting all the equipment. So the main component is, of course, the computer. And the computer is a custom-built computer, and it's loaded with as much RAM as I could put into it, as much video RAM as I can get into it, and a 2 terabyte hard drive. And I also have several terabyte drives portable that I do all my backups on to make sure I don't lose any of my recordings. At this point, I'm going to talk about the recording and how it would be done using a computer, an audio interface, a DAW or digital workstation, a microphone, and a guitar. We'll start with the basics. My dynamic microphone is plugged into my audio interface using an XLR cable, which, as I said in my previous video, takes a signal from the microphone and routes it into the DAW on my computer. The output of the audio interface is then connected to the computer using a USB or other type of connection. And I want to show you a simple diagram on how this connection looks. All right, so here we have just a line diagram of an audio interface. And it's a very simple audio interface. It has 2 inputs. It has a volume control for monitor, volume control for input 1 and input 2, volume control for your headphones, and a jack for your headphones. And on the back, it has an output 1 and an output 2 to go to your studio monitor left and studio monitor right. Your power would be connected to your home power, and then the USB would be your output to your computer to interface with your DAW or digital audio workstation. What you would do is take your microphone. In this case, it would be a dynamic microphone, and it would be connected to input number 1 with an XLR cable, and then you would connect your headphones to the headphone jack. Using the USB cable, you would then go to your computer, and whether or not you have studio monitor or not, you would use either a 1/4-inch jack or an XLR cable to connect the left and right monitors from the output. Now, you don't have to have these available to start your recording, as long as you have headphones and a way to listen to what you're recording. So hopefully this is just a quick way to show you how the interface works with the computer. Okay, so we're going to get into the recording session right now, and what we're going to do is we're going to open up my Cubase 9.5 Pro, and what it does is it gives me a lot of options at the top here. And what I want to do is I want to start a new project, and as you can see, Steinberg has come up with a number of presets. Since this is a very simple song, all I'm going to be needing is an acoustic guitar and a vocal, which I have highlighted here. So I hit create, and what that does for me is it opens up a window with 2 separate tracks for recording, 1 for acoustic guitar, 1 for vocals. And I don't know if you remember what I told you about having the tracks separately for each instrument and each vocal, so you can adjust the gain or volume to be able to give you the perfect mix that you want for an outcome. So what I would do is I would click on the acoustic guitar, enable for the record, and then when I'm ready, I would hit the record button down below to record my guitar track. All right, now you can see that I've recorded my guitar track, and I'm very happy with the outcome of it. You know, if you don't like it, you can always erase it and start from square one. And the next thing would be to do the vocal track. Now what I'm going to do is when I play this while I'm recording my vocal, I'm going to put on the monitor here so I can listen to my voice along with the track in my headphones to make sure that my voice is coinciding with the track. This makes it very good to be able to hear your voice on that guitar track to make sure that you're getting exactly what you're wanting to for an outcome. Okay, so here we have both of the tracks recorded now, the acoustic guitar and the vocal on separate tracks, so we're able to control the gain or the volume of each track to make it the perfect mix. There's a couple ways of adjusting the volumes. You can click on the track that you're looking for, and you can adjust the volume here in Cubase, or you can go to Studio and pick one of the mix consoles, and as you play the song, you're able to adjust the volume of each individual track. Here's what it sounds like. Into the shadows, feel of adrenaline, feel of real, things moving around me faster than light, the crowds are behind me, nowhere inside. So you get the idea. You know, if you were having multiple tracks, not only 2 tracks, but 10, 12, 14, 16, 32, you're able to play with the faders all the way across. What it would do is it would actually just add on to the bottom studio tracks. So for instance, if I wanted to add a track, I would go Project Audio and say I wanted to put a drum, which is already set there, add to track. You see it just now has an audio track here, and I'm able to go into that audio track and change the name to drums. And now if I go back into my studio, I now have a track called drums. So if I didn't want the track, I can just remove the selected track and I'm back to my normal original song. So this is how the recording process works. Later on at one of the other videos coming up, I'll actually show you a track, a song that I tracked that has 10 tracks in it, several vocals, and a number of different instruments, just to show you how it all works. Well, everybody, I hope this was an informative video, and I'm planning on doing many, many more going forward all about music. And one more time, if you can please hit the subscribe and hit the like button. It really helps me out. And I look forward to seeing you the next time. Hope you have a great day. Take care. See you soon.